Hello, beloveds. Welcome to the Divine Woman Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Sophia. Here you will discover your inner wisdom, unmatched power, and innate worth, so you can embark on a journey of radical self-love. Now, take a moment for yourself, tune in, and know you are loved. Welcome to this sacred time of Bealtaine, a time of igniting your fire, your passion, your truth, that personal power, that sovereignty in who you are and what you truly believe in, and being willing to take action to know your truth. It is a time of sensual energy, sexual energy, to really reconnect, if that's something you feel that would be powerful for you at this time, to reawaken, to remember. I know for me, there's always that aspect of coming home and reminding, even after a long, dark winter, it's like, what it feels like to just be fully alive. When we're in this time, it does invite us to embody our senses, to fully sense and to step into that. So I'm excited for us to explore Bealtaine together and really understand, what is Mother Earth? What is she teaching us? How is she showing us the way? And then how can we integrate this into our lives? Bealtaine translates into bright fire. Bealtaine is the fire festival. The word Bealtaine originates from the Celtic God Bel, meaning the bright one, and the Gaelic word teine, meaning fire. Together they make bright fire, or godly fire, and traditionally bonfires were lit to honour the sun. Bealtaine is directly opposite Samhain on the wheel of the year, and it is a time where the veil is the thinnest. It's a time where we celebrate the marriage of the god and the goddesses. It is a time of great fertility, when we celebrate life's pleasures and bring forth passion and what will nourish us. Bealtaine is the Gaelic May Day festival. May 1st, or around the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. It represents the peak of spring and the beginning of summer. Earth energies are at their strongest and most active, as later on the summer it's too hot, overly heated and burnt out. All of life is bursting with potent fertility at this point on the wheel, and anything is possible. 3 days this festival would last, when our ancestors would come together on the eve of the May, honouring the sexuality of life, the abundance, fertility on all levels. The maiden goddess has reached her fullness. All the fairies would come out, and supernatural beings, the Tuatha. They really believed whatever happened in those days over Bealtaine was a really true indication of the rest of the year. There was lots of rituals, bonfires, and the flame and the smoke and the ashes were sacred, the connection to the divine. People in the cattle would walk between the bonfires, sometimes even jumping over the flames, which would represent health and wealth. People jumped the fire to purify, cleanse, and bring fertility. Couples jumped the fire together to pledge themselves to each other. Cattle and other animals were driven through the smoke as a protection from disease and to bring fertility. The hawthorn and the rowan tree are the sacred trees of Bealtaine, and they were placed around the structures or at the front doors as a way to bring fertility and abundance to the homes and to the people. This time of Bealtaine is about honouring your sensuality, your sexuality, and your truest heart's passions and desires. If we go back thousands of years to our ancestors, they believed that we always needed an outlet for what we were feeling. And that's what these festivals were about, Samhain especially, and Bealtaine. It was a time where sex organ plants are really visible and really fertile. And as they would look to nature, they would look to what nature was doing. So they would do the same. And it was a time of deep passion. It was a time of sacred reproducing fertility, a sacred time to bring a child into the world. It was a powerful time to handfast, to marry. It's a powerful time of pleasure and sensuality. So over these 3 days, it was like days of love making, and people would run wild. It was a time to let go of all their inhibitions, and after coming through a long, dark winter, and now starting to come out in the spring, and even more so into full passion of the summer. It was like the creativity was alive in them, that spark. Girls would jump over the fire as a way of igniting their wombs. It was a time for everybody to flower and pleasure. It was a time for everyone to look inwards with what it was that brought them alive and not be worrying about what society was putting on them. It was a time to honor the sacredness of life. It was a period of freedom of choice, freedom of creativity, freedom of love, freedom to magic and rebirth, free to love, to make love, and know that they were eternal beings, not just mortals. So I ask you now, beloveds, how can you bring this energy of Bealtaine into your life? The lovemaking, the liminal places, places of potentiality where magic happens, where there is true acceptance and beauty. It's a time of full acceptance for what life has brought, to love ourselves, to nurture ourselves, the wrinkles that life has brought, to see them as beauty, the grey hairs, the stretch marks, and see the beauty and power that lies within. Unity means the death of the ego and the rebirth of the soul. The portal is open between the worlds at this time of Bealtaine, where we most come alive and yet are the closest to death, birthing and lovemaking and unifying, eating foods that we love that make us feel alive. Everyone, the kids, the adults, running around feeling full alive, seeing the beauty, expressing the beauty all around. It is a time to witness and be present with each other, to witness the divinity within each other, to recognize that deep sense of knowing within each other, and to give everyone the permission to do the same. This is a powerful time of just following that inner guidance, allowing yourself to be free, allowing your inner wild woman to be fully expressed and embodied, to step into your sensuality. So I invite you now, beloved, how are you going to choose to embody this time of Bealtaine? This powerful time of Bealtaine, of playfulness, sensuality, sexuality, growth, passion, desire, where nature is fully alive, where the earth is at its most abundance, as are you, beloved. This is a powerful time to sit with your heart, to sit with your soul, your body, your mind, your emotions, and see how you can really embody this time of Bealtaine, how you can harness this energy, how you can reflect upon it and invite it into your life. So some questions, I invite you to find a lovely cozy corner to snuggle up in, or lay out under the sun with a sun hat and answer these questions out in nature, wherever you feel cold. Maybe it's sitting with the fire, having a bonfire, a candle lit, so you can just really honor that fire element around you and within you. So number 1, what action can you take today to step more fully into your joy, into your pleasure? How can you reclaim your inner sensuality more deeply in your life? There's always an opportunity that we can step more deeply into that. What brings you alive right now? What are you feeling excited about? If you really, really sat with it, what is that for you? And how has that shifted for you? And are you really being true and honest about what is most your deepest passions and desires right now? What do you want to devote your creative energy to? Are you embracing the passion and joy of life? What can you bring into your life to step more fully into that? Or what needs to be released to make space for that? Can you bring in more play? And what would that look like, and what would that feel like? How can you nurture what is blossoming in your life so that it will be bearing fruit? So some beautiful, beautiful questions to sit with here, beloveds. And you are so gifted at just really listening and being present, just allowing yourself to hear whatever you need to hear and process. And then, of course, at this time of Bealtaine, take the action that's needed. I believe in you. I love being your compassionate witness, and I love you. Did you enjoy this podcast? If so, please subscribe and leave me a 5-star review. If you think your friends will benefit, I'd be honored if you'd share it with them. Thank you for listening. I'm sending so much love your way.